Hello everybody and welcome to Cape Rugby TV, Wednesdays at 9. As usual, we bring you the very best of club rugby. Varsity Cup, we're looking at that. We're looking at the Community Cup. We're looking at Super 15. Of course, our Super Brew features in the mix. And we are happy to have you along. Right, so let's get things started. On the panel with me this evening, as usual, Morgan Newman. Hello, Morgs.
How's it, JP? How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. It's been a nice rugby weekend. It seems like the fever is starting to pick up. Super 15's on the go.
Yeah, I know. It has been an exciting weekend. I think Super 15 has started as they're talking about the real Super 15 starts this weekend with the South African teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, exciting times all around.
Jerome, welcome.
Good on, JP.
Mr. H.
You can't wait to get to Super Brew predictions.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Let's not kill the fact that we've got to first speak about other matters. I know what's coming up this evening, all right? I know where you guys are going with Super Brew. You been well?
Yes, sir, yes.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Right, so let's kick it off straight away. It is Varsity Cup time, and as usual, we first take a look at the Varsity Shield. Lots of exciting games. And of course, we've got the Varsity Shield coach on the team with us, and a person who has played in the Varsity Cup, Mr. Morgan Newman. Let's first start off with taking a look at some of those results over the weekend. University of Fort Hare, at least not over the weekend, on Monday night, Fort Hare up against UWC. It was a 1-point win for Fort Hare over UWC. They had to travel all the way to Alice, and then TUT lost for them 24-16. Against CUT. Jerome, let's start off with you on that one there. Normally we would have had somebody from Varsity Shield or Varsity Cup on the show with us, yeah? I mean, you're coaching at UWC at the moment, 1-point loss for them. What have you heard?
Yeah, JP, it's bad because they really needed to win away from home. And I thought that they were really up for this game. And right to the end, 5 minutes before time, they were still leading 23-20. So I thought they had this game, but unfortunately, 2 penalties later in the last few minutes killed the game for them. And still, I've spoken to Peter de Villiers, and he said that they've scored a try at the end and the ref just didn't award it. So, unfortunately for them.
Well, I don't know. I've heard that there's a little bit of violence up at Fort Hare at the moment. Maybe the ref was a little bit nervous. Anyway, let's leave that. Let's not talk about the ref there then. So yes, we have a situation there. We've said before that these away wins are critically important because they are so difficult. But I mean, you've got to give credit then to you Dubs for going to Alice. It's a long flight, it's a long drive. You get there, and we've heard that Fort Hare is absolutely jam-packed. I mean, so well done to the guys, even though they came away with only a 1-point margin loss.
Yeah, and one good thing for them out of this is they got 1 point out of the game. So that's also helped a bit to close the gap a bit between CUT and UWC. So they're pretty much still in there.
Talking about CUT, of course, they had a win over TUT over the weekend. Or at least I keep saying over the weekend. I keep thinking rugby's on the weekend, but it's actually not. It's on Monday nights. It's Varsity Cup and Varsity Shield. But when we talk Varsity Cup, folks, of course, it's the Shield is part of the Varsity Cup. So don't think we're only talking about Varsity Cup. Specifically, we're interested in the Varsity Shield teams here, UWC and the Varsity Cup Marties and UCT. So. Right, so if we look at CUT, they again came away with a win, 24-16 over Tshwane University of Technology. That will, put them in a situation where they're staying on top of the log.
Yeah, they the informed side in the Varsity Shield at the moment, and they still have to come to UWC, where it's not easy for them or anybody to come to UWC and take points there. So that will be a decider, but UWC also playing next Monday against TUT, when TUT is bottom of the lock, which they also need points. And so that's going to be a decider. UWC must take points there or win that game there. And then CUT come back to UWC. So I think that UWC, CUT, they're pretty much the teams that's in the running for first and second.
Well, I think at this time of the season, obviously, if you're well placed, Morgs, I mean, if you're well placed at this time, look, it's not a normal season like club rugby. It's only, I think, 10 games or 10 weeks, 9 weeks. at this part of the game, you've already played 4 games, there's about 4 or 5 games left. If you're sitting at the top of the log, you've got a good chance to make it through to the win.
Yeah, look, James, I think that's very important, obviously, guys. You know, there's sort of that sort of jockeying for positions at this time of the year. And obviously with 3 or 4 games down, or, you know, some teams are on their way to play 5 games. It's an important stage where teams are really going to be, you know, be battling it out. And by the looks of things, COT are running away with it at the moment. So the battle for second is pretty hot with as you see, the UWC on 11 and you know, the University of Fort here on 10. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I think with UWC playing the team that's bottom of the log next week, it's a vital game to take some points.
Let's take a look at the logs, folks, so you can get a bit of an idea as to where the clubs are standing at the moment, or at least the universities are standing at the moment. And there you see CUT are firmly on the top with 17 points. UWC in second place, they've played 4, they've lost 2. Of course, CUT's advantage there is the fact that they've won all 4 of their games so far. But UW's, FNB UWC on 11 points in second place. Fort Hare is on 10 points in third place. UKZN is on 8 points in fourth place. And TUT, well, it's not going very well for them. They've played 4, they've lost 4. And only 3 points. So I think we can already see the split between the top and the bottom over there. Of course, we're going to come back with an ad break. And when we come back, we've got a clip for you on Ikes against UJ and, of course, Marties against NMMU. And we'll take a look at the results and the log, as well as some of the fixtures a little bit later in the Varsity Cup. Back with you, Nemo.
Get so much more for so much less at Tata Westenburg. Like the new Super Ace 1-ton mini truck. Our special introductory offer begins at only $109,995 from only $1,499 per month. With a 60,000 kilometer 3-year maintenance plan, the longest load body in its class, power steering, and so much more. The Super Ace mini truck is powered to take your business places. To find out more, SMS the words Super Ace to 32010 and one of our service consultants will be in touch. Terms and conditions apply.
Tata is a good buy for sure.
Get more fantastic deals on Evox products at Dis-Chem now. Grab a 1.9 kilogram Lean Pro diet shake plus 30 free GCC diet caps for only $3.99. With 21 grams of protein and only 2 grams of carbohydrates, Lean Pro is perfect for your low-carb diet. Build lean muscle mass with 2.6 kilograms of amino whey protein for only $449.95 and get a free creatine HCl. Get down to your nearest Dis-Chem now for more great deals on Evox products. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. Of course, Wednesdays at 9. I hope you're joining us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. And if you want to check out more from the Varsity Cup, you can also find them on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Varsity Cup. All your results, logs and fixtures. And don't forget to visit the website, www.varsitycup.co.za. You'll see what's happening in the world of Varsity Shield and Varsity Cup. Lots of action and entertainment there. Some fantastic pictures and videos. And of course, all of those fantastic auctions and so forth for the sake of raising charity, very much for that campaign to keep the aggro on the field, which is a campaign that is directed against women abuse. All right, so let's take a look now at the results in the Varsity Cup. And there you see it. Shimla's against Tuks. Tuks coming away with a victory there. 23 points to 12 over Shimla's. Marties, it was a good win for them on Monday night. 13-8 over NMMU. Wits against Pucker. 25-71. Good win there for the Pucker. And it didn't quite go the way of Ikes over the weekend. UCT going down to UJ. At the Green Mile, so home game for Ikes, not going their way, 42 points to 26. That was a shocking result there in actual fact. Morgs, let's start at the bottom there. Ikes, UJ, it's not the kind of result that Marties would have been looking for.
No, James, I must say, I mean, you don't want to go down to the Green Mile and get a loss. And UCT were fairly confident when they had them on the show about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's there's lots of conditions that UJ had to come down and face, but again, look, 42-26. Ikes is clearly doing something wrong at the moment. So they've got some hard work. I think they're not sitting very well in the table either. So they've really got to pull out 1 or 2 big wins away from home to get themselves back into contention for playoffs.
Don't forget, folks, we are joined by Springbok Sevens player Paul Delport a little bit later during the show. He's going to tell us a little bit more about those HSBC Sevens. Of course, Paulie was at the match between UCT and UJ on Monday night, and we'll get his insights. I think Paulie was a former UCT player himself. Been playing quite a few clubs, but we'll catch up with Paul Delport, legendary Sevens player, going to join us on the show in a couple of minutes' time. Jerome, UCT, though, they've got quite a lot of injuries at the moment. I see Levi Orendahl wasn't in the squad, so they had to switch captains as well. So a difficult environment at the moment for UCT.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about your squad and how to manage your squad and things like that. Unfortunately for them, is they have a few injuries. I mean, the first game they had injuries, and they've got injuries now also. So it's a bit difficult for them. I mean, losing your home games, then you're pretty much in big trouble. So I think it's, and also the squad, their squad is not the same as the previous years. They're busy building. They've got a few youngsters there. So it's going to take time for them to get up there again.
All right, Mr. H, you were of course at the match, Marty's against NMMU.
Yes, and it was a fantastic match.
Did they have a jumping castle?
I imagine they must have had.
You know, we never know if they've got jumping castles. Mr. H's first thing when he does the games is it doesn't matter who's playing, he checks. Right, there's a jumping castle, there's a potjie course, there's a braai vleis. Okay, this is a good game.
No, as usual, you know, fantastic crowd.
Yeah.
And the match was in the balance right until the last whistle, you know.
Yeah.
And the Madibas was putting so much pressure on the Marty's try line. And Marty's had to defend with 14 men only because Ranil Hugo was yellow carded in that last 7 minutes. But I think for me the highlight of the match was Os Haman's tackles. In the first minute he tackled his opposite number, Gareth Bailey.
Hang on, I just got to stop you there. Is this Os Haman, is this Stefan Haman?
I don't know.
Yes,
I know just
this chap in Standard 9 was playing for Paul Roos and was weighing 155 kilos. Stefan Haman. I believe he's lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah, but he's big.
He's a monster. I mean, he was playing Craven Week and I was watching him take 6 guys over the try line with him.
He lost 2 kgs.
He lost 2 kilos. Yeah, he's certainly dropped some weight.
128 now.
He's weighing,
He tackled his opposite number in the second minute. And that guy, you know, he was confused for a long time.
Yeah.
Just as he was getting ready, he collided with Os again.
Oh, no.
And I think he was out of the game. But then the third tackle, Haman and his co-partner, his Lock Alistair, for Mark.
Yeah.
They tackled Brian Shibanga, I think it was the flanker. And his lights went out. They carried him off the field. So it's nice to see a big prop like that going into all, you know, into all those tackles. And he did a lot of work, you know, carrying the ball up and so on. But he's really something. And then, of course, the Madibas has got an exceptionally good tackle forward.
Fantastic name that,
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela University. And they've got the nickname of
Yeah, and they
Madibas.
hulle daar Witkop flank, Albertus de Swart.
Yeah.
Oh, he really kept the Marties occupied, you know. And then, you know, I think the problem with the Marties in the beginning was that they were a bit, the halfbacks were too pensive.
Right.
They took a long time to decide what they were going to do.
Yeah.
The 2 wings hardly got the ball. In fact, I think once when the wing got the ball towards the end, he actually was a bit asleep and he didn't know what to do. But an outstanding game.
Fantastic game then obviously from Marty's. For those of you that managed to watch that, I'm sure you'd have enjoyed some good quality rugby. We managed to get you a couple of pictures. These are just some of the highlights from the Varsity Cup of the match between Ikes and UJ and Marty's and the Madibas. Let's watch some of the guys in action, some of the action shots, big hits. There we go, folks. Some fantastic action shots there from Marty's against the Madibas, and of course UCT against Ikes. Jerome, at the moment, I think we must be quite happy with the fact that we got some forwards there. I mean, we've got this Osman, as Mr. H was saying, he's got some serious size. We've got Oli Kebel at UCT and Chris Heiberg at UCT. These are guys that potentially could play for Western Province one day.
Yeah, I mean, Oli already played Province under 21 and he played Vodacom Cup last year, Oli Kebel.
Yeah.
And Osman is also one of the guys who came through the structures. And also another guy that you didn't mention, Alistair Vermaak. For me, he's the outstanding prop in this competition.
Right.
The amount of work that he puts in. And he's also one of the former under 21 in Vodacom Cup players at Province. So yeah, we've got, there's one thing that we don't lack in, was in the past it was a big problem.
The big guys.
But there's a few youngsters coming through and making a name for themselves, and that's what we want at Province.
Let's take a look at the logs now in the Varsity Cup, and there you see Marty's, FNB Marty's are firmly on top on 14 places. They've played 3 and they've won 3. Tucks are on 3 and they have won 2. Puts them in 10th place, at least in 2nd place on 10 points. UJ are in 3rd place. They've played 3, are on 10 points as well, level with Tucks, as they say, Tucks of Nix. Pucker in 4th place, NMMU in 5, Chimblers in 6, Ikes are in 7, and Wits are at the bottom in 8th place. Things not going very well there for FNB, UCT, and for Wits. They've played 3, they've lost 3. I'm pretty sure that Kevin Foote is going to be rather concerned about things this coming couple of weeks. A lot of hard work to do there to dig themselves out of the bottom and get themselves back up to the top. And remember, folks, of course, the Varsity Cup have only played 3 games versus the Shield guys who already played 4, because of the fact that some of the Varsity Shield guys play, of course, those midweek games. Let's look at some of the fixtures coming up now in the Varsity Shield. And there you see the next match is UWC against TUT. That's this coming Monday, the 25th of February. And Fort Hare take on UKZN. Those are your fixtures for the Varsity Shield, and of course fixtures for the Varsity Cup. More exciting games there. It's Wits up against UJ. They're playing in Johannesburg at 4:45 on Monday. It's Tucks or Nix against Marty's. Marty's got an away game there in Pretoria. NMMU take on Chimblers at the home game for NMMU in Port Elizabeth, and Pucker in Potch with the Ikes FNB UCT playing away in Potchefstroom. Kickoff there at 7 o'clock. Right, folks, that is your Varsity Cup and Shield feature. Make sure you get down to your home game. Home games for UWC, home games for Marty's, and of course a home game for FNB UCT. Look out for the home games, lots of entertainment, very exciting. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the Community Cup. We'll see what's happening in the action there. Mr. Herman Abrams from Western Province Rugby will be telling us more about Community Cup. Of course, D'Urberville, Durbell, and SK Warmers will be carrying the flag for Western Province Rugby in the Community Cup. Back with you in a moment.
Get so much more for so much less at Tata Westenburg. Like the new Super Ace 1-ton mini truck. Our special introductory offer begins at only $109,995 from only $1,499 per month. With a 60,000 kilometer 3-year maintenance plan, the longest load body in its class, power steering, and so much more. The Super Ace mini truck is powered to take your business places. To find out more, SMS the words Super Ace to 32010 and one of our service consultants will be in touch. Terms and conditions apply.
Tata is a good buy for sure.
Get more fantastic deals on Evox products at Dis-Chem now. Grab a 1.9 kilogram Lean Pro diet shake plus 30 free GCC diet caps for only $3.99. With 21 grams of protein and only 2 grams of carbohydrates, Lean Pro is perfect for your low-carb diet. Build lean muscle mass with 2.6 kilograms of amino whey protein for only $449.95 and get a free creatine HCl. Get down to your nearest Dis-Chem now for more great deals on Evox products. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers.
Welcome back to Cape Rugby TV, folks. Yes, of course, Wednesdays at 9. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and of course on Twitter at Cape Rugby TV. It's been fantastic to watch everybody on Facebook and how much engagement we've got. That vote for the T-shirt competition has been off the charts. We reached something like 10,000 people giving us their opinion from a number of folks, and we have chosen the t-shirt that'll be up for grabs, the Cape Rugby t-shirt that we're going to use for the season. That's up for prizes. We know some people have asked to buy it. A little bit later in the show, we're going to tell you which one we chose. Thank you for helping us choose it. You, of course, had the options A, B, C, D, E, and F on Facebook. And last week, we know that you managed to SMS in your options. I'm sure many people are waiting to see which is the one that we've chosen. Of course, your vote meaning quite a lot to us there. Community Cup it is now. And yes, it is SK Women's and Durbanville carrying the flag for Western Province Rugby. Mr. H, if we start off with Durbanville, didn't go their way. As you were saying last week, Pretoria, the police, hulle is 'n spul groot. Ek wil nou nie sê wat nie, maar dit is 'n groot stuk vleise daai daarbo. Do you think it was the first game for Durbanville, travelling away? And of course, or is Pretoria and the police just really good?
No, well, the Pretoria police is a good side. And it's the second time in a competition that they beat Durbanville. But one must take into consideration, and we've spoken about this quite often, travelling.
Yeah.
A lot of the Durbanville players had to get up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock to be at the airport 5 o'clock, fly into where they went to go play, and then, you play the same day. It's not like, if they had gone Friday night, it might have been a better option.
Yeah.
And they were behind half-time, but in the second half, they scored 19 points against 8, which showed that they were getting, miskien hulle toe wakker geskrik.
Yeah.
And
do they fly in and out on the same day?
yes,
So in other words, there's no accommodation.
no.
Okay. Save a bit of money like that.
Yeah, but you mustn't save money on a competition like that, because it's not good for the competition. And we can see from the other results also.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure SA Rugby is still working on.
Yeah, no,
on the
I'm sure
system.
they will find it, and like the coach, John Lopes, said they were a bit flat-footed in the first 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and the guys scored 20 points against them, and they hope that things will go better for them. But yeah, that's it. But just on the competition, if you look at College Rovers, they're the reigning club champions, and they showed, they're not going to give up their trophy easily. They actually beat Dispatch 38-17, and it was their 80th victory out of 84 matches.
College Rovers.
Yeah, so they
won 80 on the road. The road.
Yeah, they out of 84 games, they've won 80. So they a class outfit. But what is surprising also is that 3 of the invited teams beat their opponents. That was something, that nobody expected. African Bombers.
Yeah.
They beat Welkom Rovers. But then Welkom Rovers had to get on the bus Thursday afternoon to arrive.
Yeah, so again, it's again this travelling thing that comes in so hard, and we spoke about it in the Varsity Cup. But of course, Durban will take on African Bombers in the next fixture.
Yeah.
Do you think African Bombers are going to be able to deliver the same result that they did
I don't think so, because
in the last one?
They must travel. But don't forget,
they must travel again. Now it's Durban.
They are a good side. African
But it's
Bombers
much easier to travel to Cape Town, because, look how far away the airport is. Nothing is less than 5 minutes away. Yeah. You fly to Joburg and the airport, your club could be 2 hours away. Everybody wants to play in Cape Town. See, again, the Cape Town teams are a complete disadvantage. All right, so of course let's take a look at the other results then in the Community Cup, folks. And you see it was Villagers Worcester 24-20 win for them over Shishan. Pretoria Police, as we mentioned, beating Durbanville 35-26. African Bombers, good win for them, 35-22 over the Welkom Rovers. Rustenburg Impala 24-13 over Roodepoort. Noordelijk is beating losing the Raiders 45-12. Brobart, Olsen, Borneans from Border beating Brakpan, or at least losing to Brakpan 15 points to 8. It was a big win for Roses United, 65-36 over White River from Mpumalanga. There would have been a travelling occasion. Johnson College Rovers beating Dispatch 38 points to 17. Morgs, how much of a problem is that in terms of travelling luggage wise?
Look, James, I think when you're playing, the higher the level you go, the lighter the weight is taken off your shoulders from a player's point of view. The Stormers will know that they don't ever have a problem with it. They take their bags on a Wednesday already, and by the time they get to their hotel in Australia or New Zealand, their bags are there. But for club rugby, obviously, it's a bit more, each man looks after his own bag, and everyone's got to carry the tackle bags, got to carry the shields, got to carry the water bottles. So then it does become quite a travelling affair.
Everybody has to carry it.
Everybody lends a
right.
hand. So yeah, look, it's not easy, but again, I mean, it's exciting. You know, it's a tournament that's in the first year running, and it's an exciting tournament. So it's something you, as a player, want to be involved in. So I mean, you know, who cares about the travelling really? When you can play against guys from all over the country, that's sort of, you know, competing with the best.
All right, let's take a look at the at the fixtures then in the Community Cup coming up on Saturday, the 23rd of February. We see Shishen up against College Rovers. SK Warmers, it's their first game. It's a home game for them. They'll be taking on Villagers Worcester here at home. Durban will take on African Bombers. Welkom Rovers take on Bloemfontein Police. It's Welkom. Roodepoort take on Noordlikers. Raiders are up against Bloemfontein. And Brakpan take on Roses United at Kempton Park. So it's a away game for Roses United, all the way travelling out of Boerland, and then White River, home game for them against Evergreens. Mr. H, SK Warmers, it'll be their first match now. Do you feel that they're ready for it?
They probably will be ready, but they must be very wary of Villagers Worcester. You know, they've won, probably against expectations, and their tails will be right up in the sky, and they will come to Cape Town and they will think, but you must still play in this competition. We've already played our first game, so, and we're confident that we can, you know, we've done something good. So I think SK Warmers will have to be at the very best to keep things under wrap for them.
Right, folks, that's the Community Cup. Of course, make sure that you support SK Warmers and that you support Durbel. Get behind your local boykies, so to speak. So your Varsity Cup teams, your Varsity Shield teams, and your Community Cup teams. So many clubs now have an opportunity to play in the these clubs' seasonal fixtures that are just an added bonus to our normal season. Don't forget, we've got Springbok Sevens player Paul Delport joining us in a couple of minutes' time. We can't wait to have a chat with him about how things went at the HSBC Sevens, where they made us so proud and won that cup final in Las Vegas. What a win that was. I was up until about 2 o'clock in the morning and managed to watch the legend himself, Paul Delport. So make sure you stay tuned to your screen, and we'll be chatting with Paulie in a minute. Right, as we did say to you, it was time for us to choose a Cape Rugby TV t-shirt. The show is now big enough, there's enough fans, and we want to be able to make sure that you carry a piece of us around with you at the club games. And of course, to reward you for participating in the show while we're on air. Remember, you can of course SMS, you can Facebook, you can Twitter. So there's lots of ways for you to contact us and share in those competitions. And we did promise one of you would be the opportunity to win the very first Cape Rugby TV t-shirt. Right, let's take a look at the t-shirt that you have won now. And there you can see we chose option E. And it's very simple. Cape Rugby TV, loving club rugby. So how much simpler can it be than that? Cape Rugby TV, loving club rugby. What more do we need? And of course, you can see on that t-shirt, let's just go back to that t-shirt quickly one more time, just to indicate to you a little bit more in terms of the writing on the back of the t-shirt. So you see Cape Rugby and the @ sign there, folks. That @ sign is a little bit of creative license, and it means at Cape Rugby TV. That's the Twitter handle, right there. You see it at Cape Rugby TV, and that is the Twitter handle, and you can make sure that you find us on Twitter. So the T-shirt, when you're walking around, will tell people how to get all of the Cape Rugby TV team on Twitter. Morgs, do you think we chose the right one?
James, quietly, I said last week I had my decision made. It was E.
Was it E?
It was E. So yeah, loving club rugby. I like the little slogan that we've got. And yeah, I mean, that's what Cape Rugby is all about. So yeah, something that's exciting. And
you like?
Yeah, I like, but why not J?
The Iron J. Vanini J. Ekin J. Iron J, Ekin J. Mr. H, which was your choice?
No, that's a nice choice.
I mean, we have people
what I would like to see is a reverse of the colors also.
So in other words, white shirt.
Yeah.
With blue on the white. It gets dirty too quickly.
Yeah, but you know, some people like white. It's nice and fresh.
Personally, I prefer blue to keep it dark. But you say you prefer white.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. H is Mr. H will be modelling in that t-shirt sometime soon, I hope.
Yes. Well, he's already said that you must model. Okay. So are we all agreed E is the right option?
That's fine.
All right.
Good choice.
As part of an E option, we're going to give away to one of our Facebook winners the very first Cape Rugby TV T-shirt, and we're drawing a wild card here out of the Cape Rugby TV comments page where you chose your option, and this winner of the very first one is Shaheen Kapari. So Shaheen, congratulations, you win your very first Cape Rugby TV T-shirt, and it is Loving Cape Rugby TV. So congratulations, you're in the mix for that very first T-shirt. All right, we're going to take an ad break, and when we come back, we're joined by Springbok legend player Paul Delport. He's, of course, captained the under-21s in the World Cup. Yeah, I think he captained the under-19s in the World Cup. Now he is in the Springbok 7 squad and making serious impact there as usual. Of course, carried the flag for South Africa to victory in the Cup final. We'll catch up with Paulie Delport after the break.
Get so much more for so much less at Tata Westenburg, like the new Super Ace 1-ton mini truck. Our special introductory offer begins at only $109,995 from only $1,499 per month. With a 60,000 kilometer 3-year maintenance plan, the longest load body in its class, power steering, and so much more. The Super Ace mini truck is powered to take your business places. To find out more, SMS the words Super Ace to 32010 and one of our service consultants will be in touch. Terms and conditions apply.
Tata is a good buy for sure.
Get more fantastic deals on Evox products at Dis-Chem now. Grab a 1.9 kilogram Lean Pro diet shake plus 30 free GCC diet caps for only $3.99. With 21 grams of protein and only 2 grams of carbohydrates, Lean Pro is perfect for your low-carb diet. Build lean muscle mass with 2.6 kilograms of amino whey protein for $44.49.95 and get a free creatine HCl. Get down to your nearest Dis-Chem now for more great deals on Evox products. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. Yes, so we are now joined by the legend himself, Paul Delport. He has played more than 40 matches for the Springbok Sevens team. Hello Paulie, how are you, my man?
No, Jeff, it's great to be here.
Nice to have you back.
Yeah, great to be back.
How's all that travelling going for you? Are you over the jet lag?
Yeah, finally now. This one was tough, chaps. This is the worst one. So we go from here and we go to New Zealand and then we go back to the States and then we come back here. So felt like a bit of a zombie for a while.
Before we talk about the HSBC Sevens, which was of course massively successful. I mean, we were all up at 1 o'clock in the morning and tweeting each other and watching you with such pride. I mean, tell us a little bit about the run up to Las Vegas. Some of the tournaments that you guys played in, it didn't go all your way.
Yeah.
You know, clearly you were climbing the sort of the graph was going up for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have struggled a bit with our consistency this year. We started off quite well in Gold Coast. The guys really played well, and then we stumbled against Fiji in the semis. Dubai didn't go well. PE again, we were up there. We played well. Lost, I think it was 10-5 to New Zealand in the semis. And then Wellington was I think was a massive wake up call for us. Just in terms of it's the worst
Wellington, of
record
course,
ever.
Wellington, New Zealand, not Wellington, Bullen.
No.
We just have to check because we never know. We throw these names out so casually. You know, you guys who jet set around the world like Gold Coast. I'm thinking, where's Gold Coast? It's probably hier op die Weskus waar die kleef is. You know, like nuwe golf estate, die Gold Coast, and so Wellington. You're talking about Wellington, New Zealand. You're talking about Gold Coast, Australia.
Well, Gold Coast just next to Sandy Bay. We go there quite a lot.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, no, we know that I see that there's some scribblings on the back of one of the doors there that you've made. So a lot of travelling for you.
Yeah, a lot of travelling for us. Yeah, Wellington didn't go well, Jeff. So we just said we had to come together in Vegas, and the guys really they really pulled things together. We worked hard, fixed a couple of things, and thankfully the results were in for us.
Other teams, we spoke about this last week, in actual fact, while you were still travelling, and we were talking about the likes of Samoa and Fiji and the French team, even though it looks like some of these guys are getting a little bit lighter, but are the teams very much on par now, or is there still a bit of a gap?
No, definitely. We were saying earlier, we were chatting, and we were saying, say, two or three seasons ago, there were only 4 or 5 teams that could win a tournament. Now there are 10, 11 teams that could win a tournament. Look at England. England won in Wellington, and they're 9th overall. So that just shows the type of competition that's out there at the moment. And I think the landscape of sevens has changed a lot, James. A lot of people have proper development systems and structures now, and they're putting a lot of money into sevens.
We were talking last week about how almost scientific the game has become. I mean, tell us, because it's the little things. It's the little things like making sure that you get every second of the game right. And it seems like everything's a tactic. It's much more tactical, seems, than a 15-man game. You have to take advantage of all these small things that you can do in 7 minutes. So tell us about your training and some of those tactics and strategies that you guys together with Paul True would be working on.
Yeah, absolutely, Japs. We have Dr. Russ Tucker who comes to consult with us, and one of the themes that he's brought into the team is at this level of sport, it's all about those 1%ers, and we really do focus on those. Not making mistakes at crucial stages. If you just look at both the semi-finals in Vegas went into extra time, and the third and fourth playoff went into extra time. And I think you hit the nail on the head. There's no difference between the teams now. You can be first on the log and you can be 12th on the log, and the game will be tight.
I mean, if you look at this from a percentage point of view, and you think one turnover in an 80-minute game is something you can get away with.
Yeah.
But because you might have 20, 30, 40 turnovers, I don't know, in an 80-minute game.
Yeah.
But in a 7-minute game or half side, if you have one turnover, it could be the equivalent of 10% of your entire half. So it's little things like that, like one little mistake could cost you the whole game.
Definitely, Jason. That was one of the things that we needed to address as a team. We dominate the stats after the 5 tournaments. We dominate everything: turnovers won, least turnovers conceded, tries scored, tackles made, tackle percentage. Yet those 1%ers are letting us down. If you had to just look at the stats, people would say we've won 5 out of 5 tournaments this season, and this is our first win. So that was, like you say, it's very important. You play against a team, and that one turnover can, even though you've dominated the stats, you've dominated the game, that one turnover can cost you the game.
Tell us about some of the guys that you're playing with. I mean, we're seeing some fantastic talent there. And Branko de Beer, I don't know, what is he, slot drop goals left and right with both feet? Because some of the kicks we're seeing is just incredible. Also, who's the tall guy? I forgot his name now.
Cornel Hendricks.
Cornel Hendricks. He was the highest try scorer at the HSBC Sevens. I mean, you've got some incredible talent there.
Yeah, we do, Japs. The guys' skill sets are phenomenal. You mentioned Branko and Cornel. I mean, we have a couple of youngsters who have come through now, 19-year-old guys, or Siabelis and Notla, Cheslin Colby, Justin Geduld. They're all 18, 19-year-old kids who have been absolutely fantastic. And then you have guys like Chris Dry and Frankie Horn who just keep on playing well, tournament in, tournament out. And I think that's what made all the difference now in this last one.
Listening to the commentators on Sunday night, and these were American commentators who I think are still coming to grips with what rugby is. It was interesting commentary, but they had so much to say about Frankie Horn. They were talking about just what an amazing talent he is. He's been in the game forever, and what a gentleman. I mean, is he someone that you guys, from a leadership point of view, from an experience point of view, does that really help the young guys?
Definitely, Jabs. He's been huge. He's taken over the captaincy since Carl got injured in Dubai, and he's just been fantastic. I mean, you look at that guy, and I don't think Morgie will know. People don't realize Frankie's played 46 tournaments in a row. He hasn't sat out once. Yes, and it's not because he hasn't been injured.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that they were saying is how many continuous matches he's taken to the field.
Yeah. Incredible, and like you're saying, just the experience he brings, I think the calmness, but also the impact that Frankie has in the games. He's big, he's strong, he's skillful, and he really helps us a lot.
Tell us a little bit about your training. You guys train in Stellenbosch with Paul too?
Yeah, Jabs, it's proper training. We train very hard. I think that's maybe the difference between 7s and 15s. We have 6 or 7, maybe 8 pre-seasons a year, whereas the 15s guys have 1 or 2. So the guys are always in tip-top shape. Very difficult to keep on weight, so we all quite skinny, but it helps us around the field.
No. If there's one thing I can say about Sevens players, I mean, half of you guys are the size of Morgan over here. All right, so it's hard work. You guys train like a couple of hours a day. Like, I mean, the facilities at Stellenbosch world class.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been absolutely great. SAS, that new facility that they built for us. Morgie was on camp there over the weekend. The facilities are great. We have no complaints, and we really are looked after very well.
Yeah, so a fantastic facility, and great to see that the clubs have an opportunity to go out there also and train at the High Performance Centre and experience these fantastic facilities. Jerome, you've been doing quite a lot of work with the clubs of late. Without giving the whole game away, give us in a nutshell, what did you guys do last week?
Oh, last week we had the law interpretation, the new laws with the club coaches. And we also had a conditioning session with Stefan de Tooy, the conditioning coach of the Stormers, for Super A and Super B club coaches. And then we had a strapping workshop with Wayne Hector, the physio of the Stormers.
All right, folks, a lot of stuff happening there with the HPC and Jerome and his team helping the building and capacity building within the club rugby space. We managed to catch up with Jerome last week with some of his coaches who had the Super League A and Super League B teams at the HPC. Let's see what the boys got up to.
We're busy with the beginning of the season. So the first thing that we're doing is we have there's a lot of new laws. So we've got a referee in, Wimpy. He's doing the new laws, going through all with the coaches, the Super A and Super B coaches are here tonight. So we're just doing that, going through that. And then we also have Stefan de Tooy, the fitness and conditioning coach, with the conditioning coaches of the Super A and Super B, having a session with them to explain to them what they do at Stormers level. And it's just great to see how the guys interact and how they ask them questions, what they can do this time of the season and what they can do in season, which is very good. And then we had Wayne Hector. He's doing the strapping course for all the medical people at the clubs, and also a very great thing, they do a practical thing where the people have to strap themselves and show them the right technique and how to strap.
We basically had all the club coaches or club trainers with me. I did a short presentation. The one was on strength and conditioning, just telling them what we do. And then also on recovery, just touching base on some recovery strategies, the way we do it here, what I found work and what doesn't work, and just obviously challenging science at times, you know, to make sure that practical things stay practical and that the beliefs we have are the things that work. I think the biggest thing for them that they probably took home was to have a structure. That is your bailout card. You need to tick that box. Even in coaching, you need to have a structure. You need to know the stuff that you do on Monday to Friday to lead up to Saturday, stuff that you follow on a Sunday are all structured, and that's your beliefs. Those are the things that work for you. You've got your basket of exercises, rep and volume ranges that you follow, and those are the things that get you success at the end of the day.
We're hosting the clubs, the Super League A and B clubs, doing a strapping workshop with their medics and their physios, just to show them how we do things here at the Stormers, and try and help the clubs obviously to strap their players as well as best they can. Yeah, I mean, it's a necessary thing. You know, if you want to keep players on the field and want them to perform from week to week, you need to provide them with these things. So a lot of the strapping that we do is precautionary. Guys coming back from injury, you don't want them to go over that ankle again or stuff up the knee again. So a lot of it is precautionary, but there's also, to facilitate the guy getting back that week earlier or 2 weeks earlier, we also tend to do strapping for that.
We're trying to do a lot more during this season. All the new stuff that's coming up, we're trying to get it through to the coaches. And yeah, it's just a start, so there's many more to come.
Fantastic work happening there at the HPC. Close to the CTICC. Jerome, nice to have the coaches out there. Super League A, Super League B, conditioning coaches, and of course I think you had some more the physio guys or the technical guys there. They enjoy it?
Yeah, they really enjoyed it, and I think they've learned a lot, especially with Wayne now showing them the new strapping, what to do, and Stefan with conditioning. It's early for them, so they can go back to their clubs and really do the things that they've heard last week, and also with the new laws, which was good. So now the coaches are informed, everybody are informed, so it was really good.
Well, let's hope that the public get informed. Anders gaan weer baie vloekery wees van die kant van die veld af wanneer hulle nou nie laws verstaan nie. So maybe we actually do need to bring it into the show here where we explain the laws as well. Mr. H, I mean, can we get someone from Western Province Rugby on the show that will
do that.
Tell us about the laws?
We can do that.
Is it hard?
No, it's easy.
Not so bad.
Even I can understand it.
Right, folks, of course, now it is an opportunity for you to win yourself an Evox hamper. Evox Advanced Nutrition, of course, the official sports nutrition supplier to DHL, Western Province Rugby, and the DHL Stormers, sort of, so to speak, the team behind the team. And now you understand why it is why they won the Currie Cup last year. So you want to win for yourself an Evox hamper, a before, a during, and after. As you can see over here, here's your Super Carbo. That's for before. This during. This is your Cyto Crank for before, and then your Rapid Recovery. These are the 3 products that are up for grabs this week, as you see here. So you've got your Super Carbo and a Cyto Crank. This gives you a good energy kick before training, whether it be a gym session or a rugby session. You've got your Super Carbo. This is your during training drink. You can use this while you're cycling, while you're running. So this keeps the energy levels up. And most importantly, as you heard Jerome tell us early on, it's about getting through the season, about recovery. And Paulie would have been telling you the same thing as well, is about recovery. This is your rapid recovery. So if you want to win for yourself this Evox hamper, all you need to do is tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. SMS your answer now. Use the keyword. SMS your answer to 33280, 33280, and your name. Just tell us, using the keyword to 33280, who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. There you see on the slide, you would have seen those products there, and you put yourself in the mix to win yourself these hampers. Right, so it's time for us to look now at the Super 15. Let's take a quick look at the results then over the weekend, and there you see the Rebels, of course it was a win for them in Melbourne, 30-23 over the Force. The Brumbies beating the Reds 24 points to 6 in Canberra. Let's take a look now at the DHL Stormers squad coming up this weekend as they play their first match. It's an away game against the Bulls, as tough as nails they are up there, and of course up in the Highveld, and they were talking about whether or not the Stormers have got the lungs for it. Let's take a look at the squad. It's Jaco Tata, Gio Aplon, Jean de Villiers is captaining the side, Damien De Allende, Brian Abana, Elton Jančić, Nick Groom, Dwayne Vermeulen, Reinhard Elstad, Sia Khaleesi, Andries Becker, De Kock, Steenkamp, Pat Sillier, Dion Fourie, Stephen Kitsoff. On the bench is Martin Besaidenout, Frans Malherbe, Donna Armand, Nizam Kar, Devil Divanagh, Gerard van der Heever, Joe Peterson, and the referee over the weekend is Jaco Paper. All right, folks, so here you see the Stormers squad taking on the Bulls. In a minute or so, we're going to take a look at your Super Brew predictions. Let's take a look at some of the other fixtures coming up then over the weekend in the Super 15. It's going to be a nail-biting start to the season. There we see Highlanders up against the Chiefs in Dunedin. It's the Rebels taking on the Brumbies in Melbourne. It's the Bulls taking on the DHL Stormers away in Pretoria. Hurricanes take on the Blues. The Reds take on the Waratahs. The Cheetahs take on the Sharks, and the Southern Kings take on the Force. Okay, all excitement. I just love the way that I rattled that off, because it's just like we're back in Super 15 season time. We did ask you guys to jump in the Super Brew predictions, players and posers. One of you will go up and you'll be the player, and one of you will go down and you'll be the poser. Let's take a look at who this week's players and posers were. Morgs, the player was?
I'm still not too sure, Jeff. I'm going to have to have a good look. I think.
Does anybody want to
JP Nord, yeah, there we go.
Right, there we go, right. I feel like the player that rocks here.
Are you going to wear pink shorts next week,
I might just wear my pink shorts. In actual fact, you don't know, I might have them on right now. In fact, I might even have my pink underpants on also.
We don't want to know what underpants
but you wouldn't know, because I'm sitting behind the counter. In actual fact, those of you that are watching right now, you never know what's going on under the counter, yeah, do you? And of course, our poser. Let's take a look at that slide again. Our poser, having started off at the very bottom of the log, was Tank 24. Let's quickly look at the top 10 there. There you see the yellow caps. I must say, well done to congratulations to Bees Harsings. That's in other words, obviously, animal brains. Bees Harsings is also pulling in a yellow cap there, having an equal prediction there. So congratulations, Bees. And there you see Tank 24 right at the bottom out of a pool of 497. But Tank, anyway, I know it was a 0-0-0-0 for you, but congratulations anyway on taking part there. Gentlemen, I know that probably the most of you will want to ask me, and want me to give my predictions first, but we have to go around the pool. Of course, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag in terms of how to do the predictions. So yes, I will give you advice on making Super 15 predictions later if you need.
Yes, he's getting arrogant.
But if we just look at the pool there, Jerome, where did it go wrong for you?
It's bad start, JP. I'm a slow starter.
Mr. H, where did it go wrong for you?
I was right on target to the first match.
Yeah.
Which you followed me, if I remember. But the second one was...
and Morgan, where did it go wrong for you? Right, folks, it's time for us to now take a look at your Super Brew predictions, and we're going to ask Paulie Delport to throw his numbers in here as well. Paul, it's going to be exciting to have you along because we've been talking about the fact that you've got such a wide knowledge of Super 15. So here we go, Highlands and the Chiefs. Paulie.
Chiefs by 10.
Morgs.
Chiefs 5.
Jerome.
Chiefs 6.
Mr. H.
Highlanders 10.
All right, it's the Highlanders and the Chiefs. I'm going to go the Chiefs by 7. Rebels and the Brumbies. Paulie.
Yeah, Brumbies, but it's an Australian game, so no one really cares.
Jerome. Morgs.
I'm going Brumbies by 15.
Brumbies by 15. Jerome.
Brumbies by 5.
Brumbies 15.
Brumbies 15. I'm going to go with the Rebels by 6. The Bulls and the Stormers. Paulie.
Stormers by 15.
Morgs.
Stormers 3.
Stormers 7.
Mr. H.
Stormers 10.
I'm going to go the Stormers by 9. Stormers by 9. We go Hurricanes and the Blues. Paulie.
Blues by 10.
Blues by 10. Morgs.
I'm going Hurricanes by 7, James.
Jerome.
Blues 9.
Mr. H.
Hurricane 7.
All right, it's the Hurricanes against the Blues. I'm going to go with the Blues by 5. And, of course, it's the Reds against the Waratahs. Paulie.
Tars by 9.
Tars by 9.
Reds by 10.
Reds by 10. Jerome.
Waratahs by 5.
Red 6.
Reds 6. All right, Reds 6. You're going with Reds 6, Mr. H. I must say that's a tough call there. Everybody thinks the Reds are going to have a fantastic season. The Waratahs haven't been as great as they have been over the last few years. You might be right, but I'm going to go with the Waratahs by 4. And the Cheetahs take on the Sharks in Bloemfontein as we get into the South African home derbies. Paulie, Cheetahs or Sharks?
Big Cheetahs fan, but Sharks by 20.
Oh, yes, sir. That's a brave call. Morgs?
Yes, after hearing that, I actually have something different written down. But I'm going to go Sharks by 18.
18. Jerome?
Sharks by 10.
Sharks by 10.
Sharks by 9.
I'm going to go Sharks by 7. And then there's, of course, the Kings and the Force, and the bets are out that the Kings will lose every single game in the Super 15. And, of course, that they are going to be caned, not by the Canes, but by the social media experts out there in terms of their admittance into the Super 15. My prediction on that will still yet to be seen. Kings against the Force in Port Elizabeth. Away game for the Force. Paulie.
Show some support. Kings by 2.
Morgs.
Yes, Chiefs. I'm going to go completely against the
Kings by 2.
Kings by 2.
Are they playing Varsity Cup?
Well, just to add something. For
I'm
the
going to
Kings.
go Force by 25.
Force by 25.
Force by 9.
Force by 9.
Force by 5.
Force by 5. And I will go Force by 12. All right. Right, folks, that is a wrap of our Cape Rugby TV show. It's been fantastic to have you along. Now, remember, if you can always catch us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. You can find us on Twitter @Cape Rugby TV. It's been an exciting show this evening. And Paulie, nice to have you here, my man. I hope you have when do you guys start training again? Or are you back in it already?
Next Monday.
You have a bit of a rest?
Bit of a rest, yeah. Great to see you, gents. Thanks for having me.
No, of course. I mean, you're part of the family here. You know, we expect you to be here more often. Of course, we follow your super predictions keenly. Morgs, good luck for the weekend. What are you up to?
No, thanks, chaps. I'll be watching some Super Rugby. No, nothing for us this weekend. So yeah, we only start from next weekend.
Jerome, some Community Cup rugby. You out there?
Going to the Battle of the Bands.
Battle of the Bands. SK Women's take on the Roses.
Worcester Villages.
Worcester Villages.
Yeah.
Mr. H, where are you this weekend?
Anywhere. There's club friendlies.
Which
also.
one are you going to?
No, I'll go to Durbanville.
Durbanville.
Yeah.
They, of course, away at home game for them now
African
against the
Bombers.
African Bombers.
Yeah.
You were saying the African Bombers had a good start last
Yeah,
week.
no, very good side, but I hope that Durbanville can now get one back.
I'm sure they will. There you go, folks. Remember, support SK Women's Battle of the Bands, as Jerome said. And, of course, Durban will take on African Bombers as the Community Cup. Remember, next week, it is Varsity Shield and Varsity Cup. Make sure that you support your home teams. That's FNB UCT, FNB Marties, and FNB UWC. That's where we will see you on the side of the field. Lots of entertainment and action. That's the wrap of Cape Rugby TV. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.